What's going on, beautiful people, and thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I am Carrington Brown, your relationship expert, and on today's episode, first thing I gotta say is this: my wife is Nigerian. We just took a trip to Africa. You feel me? That's why I got on my traditional garb today, because today we're gonna talk about Africa a little bit, right? For those who don't know, my family and I, we just got back from, we took a 2-week trip to Nigeria. If you don't know my wife, Ashley, she's half Nigerian. Her father lives over there, and a lot of her family members. So we spent 2 weeks in Nigeria, enjoyed the motherland, learned a lot, seen a lot, was exposed to a lot. And so what I want to do today in today's conversation is I want to give you guys 3 lessons that I learned from Nigeria. And quick side note, right? For all of my subscribers, one thing you're going to start to realize is that on my videos, I'm going to talk more about Jesus. And here's the reason why. One, y'all all know I'm Christian because I always bring up Jesus. But the reason why I'm going to talk more about Jesus is because what I've come to realize is that although like relationships, dating, marriage is my thing, I've just become like the understanding of the necessity of Christ in a relationship and how much that affects the trajectory of a relationship. Like, it's just become bigger for me. And so because of that, I want to make sure that I'm providing not just relationship advice, but also like biblical principles and understanding as well, so that y'all can have like some foundational principles and understanding from the Bible so that it can serve you in your marriage and pursuing and moving forward in your marriage and relationships in general. So let's get to these 3 lessons that I learned from Nigeria, right? So lesson number 1 is this, right? There is blessing in the blood, right? One more time, there is blessing in the blood. And this is what I mean by that. So, quick story. When there was a situation where I was in Nigeria where myself and my brother-in-laws, we went to a fitness club in Ikoyi, Nigeria. And one of my youngest brother-in-law, he already had a membership card, so he was able to get in. The oldest brother-in-law, he was able to go through the process of getting a membership card and getting in. But the people said, for me, I won't be able to go in, right? They said because I don't share the same last name, they said because I'm not really a part of the family, like bloodline, I wouldn't be able to get in unless my father-in-law came up there and gave me permission to get in. Right? So in order for me to actually get into the club, it was a situation where they said, hey, in order for you to get in, your father-in-law, Mr. Ofuoku, he would have to come up here and let us know that you're with him, and he would have to actually go in with you. That was one of the first things that really stuck out to me as it pertains to experiential and wisdom and lessons from Nigeria, is that, there's blessing in the blood. And when I say there's blessing in the blood, yes, I'm talking about family. Yes, I'm talking about connectivity. But I'm really talking about Jesus, right? When we look at Jesus, as a result of us being men and women, sons and daughters of Christ, there is access to things that we have simply as just a result of being a child of God. Right? And so we have to understand that as a result of the blood that was shed on Calvary for us, as a result of Jesus Christ going to the cross and us being adopted into sonship with God, that opened up the door for us to be able to have access to things that outside of Christianity, outside of relationship with Christ, outside of sonship, we wouldn't be able to have access to. So lesson number 1 is this: there's blessing in the blood. Thing number 2 is this: your life, no matter what your status is a dream to somebody. Right? No matter how much money you make, no matter where you live, no matter what your relationship status is, if you live in America, if you are in poverty in America, your life is a dream to somebody. Ashley and I, we were over there in Nigeria, we were having conversations with people, and everybody that we had a conversation with, they said, my dream, my biggest desire in life is not to make $1 million, not to become rich, not to start this business, not to write this book, not to have this marriage, none of that. Like they didn't say none of that. They said, my greatest dream and desire of life is to have the opportunity to go to America. That's it. I just want to go to America. That's the dream. The dream is not material wealth. The dream is not the big house, the big car. The dream is not what we dream about and desire over here. Their dream is just to experience America. Their dream is just to be exposed to America. Their dream is just to come and experience America. Why? Because when we look at the status and the tragedies and the negativity and the poverty and the murdering, the killing, the kidnapping, just everything going on with the government in Nigeria. When we look at all of that, those people are living in fear on a daily basis. And so they said, my dream is to experience America so that I don't have to navigate living my life from a place of fear. So you need to be grateful. Because no matter how much money you're making, what your title is, where you live in, no matter none of that, where you are, I guarantee you, there are millions of people in Nigeria that would trade places with you in an instance, like with no hesitation, right? So second lesson is your life, no matter what the status, is a dream for somebody. Last thing is this, and I think this might be the most important point. Last point is this. You the problem, right? That's the last point. The last point of today's conversation is that you the problem. And this is what I mean by you the problem. When I look at everything going on, not even just in Nigeria that we were exposed to, but just around the world, those constant problems, issues, and challenges are a direct result of men and women of God not being intentional with their purpose of the Great Commission or their calling, whatever that thing is. And so if you are a believer who claims to love Christ, who claims to follow Christ, but you're unintentional with accomplishing the mission of the Great Commission, and you're unintentional or scared or running from the unique, specific calling that God put on your life, the challenges in this world is your fault. Because God created you as the answer to a problem. Therefore, when we look at third world countries, when we look at poverty, when we look at sickness, when we look at broken families, when we look at all of this stuff, you the problem if you ain't doing nothing. Why? Because God didn't just put you here to be mediocre. God didn't just put you here to live life under the radar. God put you here to be intentional about what he has called you to go where he called you to go, do what he called you to do, help and serve who he called you to help and serve, so that these problems in this world could be destroyed, eliminated, and swept away. And so the last thing for the day, once again, y'all, is you the problem. If you're a believer and you're being unintentional about your purpose or your calling, you are the biggest problem with the world. And in order for things to shift and change in a positive trajectory, you have to be more intentional about doing what God put you here to do so that the fruit and the results of that can be experienced in this world. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I hope it blessed you. Hope it served you. If you know somebody that needs to hear this, go ahead and click that share and send this thing their way. If you don't already, follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at TheCarringtonBrown. And let me know in the comment section below, which one of these 3 points convinced you the most? Right? Was it the blessing in the blood? Was it the you are the problem? Was it the life that you're currently living is a dream for something? Like, which one of those stuck out to you most? And let me know why. All right. Thank y'all so much once again for tuning in. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.